Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. I have 6 books out currently, and my 7th book is coming out April 5th. It's called Breakable Things. And for today's video, I just kind of wanted to run through the basics. I'm self-published, and I feel like there are so many fundamental parts of self-publishing that just gets overlooked. So basically, I just wanted to recommend all of the resources that I have found helpful in publishing my own books and just give you a starter list. And hopefully this will be helpful if you're just getting into self-publishing, or even if you have, you know, as many books out as I do, or maybe even more. If you haven't heard of one of these things, maybe it'll be helpful. So I'll have everything that I talk about today linked down below in the description if you want to go check them out. If you're brand new here, I've been self-publishing since 2018, and I currently work for myself full-time as a freelance editor and an indie author. That's my cat. We're filming in front of the bookshelf today because I'm about to move and leave these behind, so we're using them while we can. Oh my gosh. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, which I think is really suiting for this video because Skillshare itself could definitely be a resource for you if you are honestly at any stage of the process, whether you're just writing for fun and not even really thinking about publishing yet, or you need help with how to format your book or how to market your book. Skillshare is an online learning community, so they have classes in all different kinds of topics, but they have a whole subset of writing classes, marketing classes. Funnily enough, one actually that I just started taking is on TikTok marketing. If you've been in the indie space for the past couple of years, you've probably heard people talking about how TikTok is one of the best ways to market your books right now. People have been having crazy success using TikTok, myself being one of them. I love TikTok for marketing my books. It's been so helpful. And so I guess not surprised to see that Skillshare had a class on TikTok marketing, but I found it very relevant to what I'm doing right now. And also a sneak peek, if you stick around, I'm actually filming a behind the scenes kind of vlog while I'm doing an experiment with posting on TikTok and different marketing techniques, and I'm going to vlog the whole experience and then have my findings at the end. So stay tuned for that vlog if you're interested in book marketing. So yeah, make sure to check down below in my description for the link to Skillshare if you're interested in getting a 1-month free trial. The first 1,000 people who use my link can get that trial. And without further ado, let's get into all of the resources that I have to recommend for you today. So just as a disclaimer, obviously this video was sponsored by Skillshare, but none of these other companies are like paying me to talk about them or anything like that. Some of them are affiliate links, which means if you purchase through that link, I do get a small commission. It doesn't change the price for you, but every single one of these though that I have a referral link to is something that I purchased myself. I got it for myself before ever recommending it to anybody else. So these are all things that I use for my own books and would stand by wholeheartedly to recommend. We're gonna break this down into a few different sections. I'll put timestamps down below if you want to skip around. So the first part, I'm just gonna talk about these different resources, and they're kind of all over the board for different parts of the process and when you would use them. And then I also just wanted to recommend, personal experience wise, some professionals that I've hired and I've worked with and I've really enjoyed working with. I think it can be really challenging to find an editor, to find a cover designer, to find an audiobook narrator. So I just wanted to shout out a couple that I've worked with and I really enjoyed working with. So let's jump straight into my list. Number 1, I have Vellum. This is a formatting software. And if you've been around on my channel for a while, you've seen me go through all different stages of formatting my books. I started out by formatting them myself in Microsoft Word, and that was great for my first couple of books. But as I started to get further into my career and as I started publishing more books, I decided to invest in Vellum. It's a one-time purchase, and you can get the version that just lets you do ebooks for $200, or the version that lets you do ebooks and print for $250. If you ever think you're gonna do paperbacks in the future, I would recommend just getting the more expensive version because it lets you do everything. I use Vellum to format all of my books, and they've come out with some new features recently which are really cool. I can even show you. So these are all my books right here, but this one is my special edition hardcover of the Marionettes. This one's got all kinds of fancy formatting. I was able to do all of this in Vellum myself. We've got images, and this is like a printout of a page from the book with my notes in it. So I feel like Vellum is really easy to use because I, for one, don't know anything about like design softwares or anything like that. So like formatting it in an Adobe product or something, I wouldn't be able to do. But this is super intuitive. They've got tutorials online. It's really easy to figure out, and it lets you do really cool stuff. So I really enjoy using Vellum. You don't even have to do the fancy stuff. It'll just format your books regularly too. I really like that for your like also buy this author page where you've got your other books listed. For the ebook, it'll let you link to it, and you can specify which vendor it's going to. So then if it's the ebook form that you're uploading to Apple, for example, all of the links in the book will take that reader to Apple, because that's obviously where that reader chooses to read from. And then the Google version will take them to those other books in Google and things like that. So I just think Vellum has a lot of really useful features. It's a one-time purchase, and if you calculate it down, if you're planning to publish a lot of books in your career, then it's definitely more affordable than paying someone to format your book every time, or worse, not formatting your book and then having readers not give your book a chance because it's poorly formatted. So I would really recommend them overall. I think they might have a free trial version. Don't quote me on that, if you want to just try it out first. So second on my list is Publisher Rocket. This is also a one-time purchase. I think it's $97. However, I think I saw something about them potentially moving to a subscription service model in the future. So I would 100% recommend grabbing it before they move over to a subscription model, because it's a one-time purchase, and then every time they update it and add new features, you automatically get those updates for free. And I use this for every single one of my book releases. I really find this valuable, and they do update it actually pretty frequently. I probably should have said this at the beginning. If you're interested in more self-publishing content, I have a Patreon page, and one of my tiers is called Self-Publishing 101, and I post bonus videos over there every single month about the nitty-gritties of self-publishing, the behind the scenes and all of the technical stuff. I think there's probably like 45 videos over there at this point. And then if you don't like the subscription style of Patreon, I also put them together into guides that look like this, that it's just a one-time thing and you can download the PDF on my website. The reason why I say that is because I think I'm going to be referencing a lot of things that I talk about in those videos over there. Like, I've shown myself using Publisher Rocket in a couple of videos over there and explained how it works. But there's a couple of different features. One of them is you can search for keywords to figure out which keywords would be best for your book on Amazon in order to optimize its like searchability on the website. So it'll show you how many competitors are using that keyword, how many people are searching for that keyword per month, how competitive is it, what's the average revenue for people using that keyword. They also have a competition analyzer, so you can see what books comparable to yours, what categories they've put it into, how much money those books are making per month, things like that. It will help you compile which keywords to use for ads that you run on Amazon and stuff like that. I find it to be super helpful. I use it for every single one of my book releases, and I also go back after a book's been out for a while to check and see if there are different keywords that I want to try instead. And it just kind of helps me stay up to date on all of the back-end stuff on Amazon. And yeah, I just find it really helpful. If you're looking for a free version, this doesn't have all of the same features as Publisher Rocket, but there's a book category hunter. I'll have it linked down below. So if you type in a book that's comparable to yours, it'll show you all of the categories that it's in. So that's one feature that Publisher Rocket has, but that's a free alternative if you just want to try that out. And then also from the same guy who made Publisher Rocket, if you're familiar with Kindlepreneur, they have a Amazon description generator that I use all the time also. This one's totally free as well. Basically, you just copy and paste the description that you're gonna have on Amazon in there, and it will help you format it, because if you've ever tried to do your descriptions on Amazon and you don't really know anything about the code and stuff, it can get kind of complicated. So it'll help you bold, italics, make sure you have the spacing and everything right. It'll just make sure your descriptions are formatted properly, and that one's free as well. Next on my list is the Alliance of Independent Authors. This is a yearly cost, and I think it's different depending on what stage you are in your career. If you haven't published yet, it's a little bit less expensive. I think there's 3 different plans. I'll put the numbers on the screen because I can't remember exactly how much money it is. I know I pay over $100 a year for it though. So this is a membership. So it has all different kinds of perks. There's a whole community on there. They have articles and you can get advice and all that kind of stuff. But something that I find really valuable, and the thing that really convinced me to get this, because it definitely paid for itself, was it offers you discounts and coupons for all different kinds of self-publishing services, for distribution and marketing and all different kinds of stuff. But the one that I probably use the most often is their Ingram Spark coupon code, which gives you free revisions and free uploads for 5 uses every single month. So if you don't know what Ingram Spark is, they are a print-on-demand company. However, unlike KDP, Amazon, which lets you upload and revise and stuff for free, every single time you do something on Ingram Spark, it costs you money. So to upload a book, it's $50. If you end up having to fix a typo in there, $25 to revise the file. If you have to update your back matter, $25 to revise the file. If you have to re-upload your cover, I think that's a $25 fee. Anyway, it really adds up per book, all of these different costs. And so having that free coupon to upload and to revise, if you publish more than 2 books in a year, it pays for itself if you're using Ingram Spark. And that's also just one of the features of that, having that membership. They have all different kinds of resources available to you. And like I said, they have a community of other independent authors. If you're looking to network, get to know some other people, get some advice, this one is money well spent for me. So next I have a couple of graphic design programs. So this is more for when you're in like those marketing stages and you need to post on social media or things like that. So I use BookBrush and Canva. BookBrush I pay to have a membership for. I use the free version of Canva. This is how I make my images on Instagram. This is how I make some of my TikToks. This is how I make my self-publishing guides that I sell on my website. This is how if you've seen like flat lay pictures with like the 3D book and people like put text on it, BookBrush will make those images for you, which is really helpful. You can make book covers on BookBrush. You can make box sets on there. You can make ads. So for graphic design, these are the 2 programs that I use, and this is coming from someone with no graphic design experience whatsoever. I think they're both pretty user-friendly, pretty easy to learn. Canva especially is really easy to use if you've never used it before. So it's how I make my YouTube thumbnails. It's literally how I make everything right now. So, and it's free. Would recommend. Another just really quick one, because I always get questions about this, is where I get my ISBN numbers from, because I buy my own so that my books can be published through my LLC. So you get them at Bowker. I'll have it linked down below. The discussion of whether or not you should buy your own ISBN numbers or use the free ones that like Amazon offers, that's a totally different discussion. But if you need to buy ISBNs, that's where you should go. I would recommend, if you are planning on publishing many books, just getting one of the bulk packages. I think the first time I bought them, I got the 10 pack, and I'm officially out as of my last book release, so I'm gonna have to buy more. I think I'm just gonna buy the 100 pack this time, because you go through them so quickly when you need a different one for every version of your book. Like the Marionettes has one for the paperback and one for the hardcover, one for the ebook, one for the audiobook. So you go through them really quickly, although you don't have to use one for your ebook. And if you, well, we won't get into all of that now. Bowker, if you need to get ISBN numbers. Also, I want to recommend BookFunnel. So this one also has different membership levels. I think the lowest one is $20 a year. I think I pay for whatever the one above that is. I'll put the numbers on the screen. So BookFunnel has also a lot of different uses. You can use it to distribute your ARCs, and if you're part of the plan that I'm in, they'll watermark them for you, as trying to help with piracy and things like that. There's book promotions that you can sign up for to participate in with other authors for marketing, and then there's also author swaps. I've been using this a ton in the past year. So basically it's connecting authors to do newsletter swaps with each other, and I either search other people's listings or I post my own listing every time I send out a newsletter, and then I just have a little section at the bottom of my newsletter that says like, your TBR looks like it could use a few more, and I just recommend 1 or 2 books of the authors that I'm swapping with, and they do the same for me in their newsletter, and that's brought in a ton of new readers for me. So that's a really helpful feature of BookFunnel. I know they actually have even more features, but those are the ones that I use. You can also use it to set up reader magnets. That is a use that I use. So I have I have a free bonus scene from the love interest's point of view in my Marionette series linked at the back of those books. And so in order to download the bonus scene, you sign up for my newsletter. So the link will take you to BookFunnel. You put in your email at BookFunnel. BookFunnel sends you the free short story. And then BookFunnel gives me your email address, and then I add that to my newsletter. So it's very helpful if you're doing newsletter builders like that. Okay, moving on to if you're interested in making audiobooks. I actually have a whole video about how to make audiobooks. If you're interested, I'll have that link down below. I personally use ACX. I now have 4 audiobooks, and I like with ACX that it gives you the option to completely pay your narrator up front, to do half and half, where you pay them a smaller amount of their fee, and then you also share your royalties, and then they also allow you to just share your royalties. So you can post and request auditions for your book on there. You can search through narrators, like portfolios and stuff on there. And I have found all of my narrators through there so far, which I will shout out a couple of them when we get to that section of the video. So the next one I just want to put on your radar in case you've never heard of it. I'm actually not recommending this though. I'm not recommending it, but that's NetGalley. This is a place where people can request ARCs of your book. That's an advanced reader copy or advanced review copy if you've never heard that term before. So NetGalley I think is more popular with traditional publishing. However, indie publishers also use it. I did use NetGalley for my first novel, The Anti-Virginity Pact, and we're not going to get into all my feelings on NetGalley right now, but it did get a ton of eyes on my book, so I'm not going to discount that. If you are struggling to figure out a way to get your ARCs into the hands of readers, like you don't have a platform yet, you don't really have a readership yet, that might be a good option for you. But also please do not pay the crazy like $600 fee to list. They have co-ops where you can pay another company like $60 to use one of their slots, so don't pay that crazy fee. I have a whole video about it on Patreon, but definitely look into that. Don't, unless you want to, but I definitely don't recommend doing that. But that's an option for getting ARC readers. I didn't have the best experience with it, but I've heard it both ways from my author friends. Some of them loved it, some of them hated it. You might have to try for yourself and see where you fall. So next I want to recommend Storygram tours. So I have tried a lot of different marketing companies for book releases, blog tours, book blitzes, that kind of thing. I have videos on Patreon talking about things that weren't worth it and things that were worth it. But Storygram tours in particular, I did with my release of The Marionettes, and they do tours on Instagram and TikTok, and of all of the tour companies I've used, I had the best experience with them. They were one of the pricier companies for sure, and I had to send physical copies of my books to the people participating, so that was an extra expense. But if you're looking for some kind of tour to run for a book release or something like that, I would recommend them. And then I'm also gonna link down below a list of book promotion sites that are great if you're running a free promotion or a 99-cent deal on like a loss leader or something like that. There'll just be a link for a list down below of the best sites to use. Okay, so now moving on to some more like personal experience stuff. Like I said at the beginning, I have my self-publishing 101 guides on my website, and I also have that tier on Patreon. If you're interested in staying caught up with all of my experience in self-publishing stuff, I recently changed my Patreon page to a pay what you can system. So no matter what tier you're a part of, you get access to everything. But I want to jump into recommending editors. We'll start with that. So plug. Hi, I'm a freelance editor. If you want to work with me, my website is linked down below. I should also say, in recommending these editors and cover designers and everything, just because I've worked with them and I've liked working with them doesn't mean they're going to be a good fit for you. Get a sample edit, see what genres they do, make sure they're offering what you're looking for in an editor. Everybody has different needs when it comes to editors and things like that. Not everyone's going to be a good fit, and it doesn't mean they're a bad editor. You just want to find a good fit for you. Let me recommend some people that I've worked with that I've liked though. So the first one, her name is Erica, and she did the copy editing for the Anti-Relationship here. She also offers a couple of other services. I know she does proofreading and things like that. She was absolutely lovely to work with, a very nice human being, pretty quick, pretty affordable. I would work with her again. I enjoyed working with her, so I really have nothing negative to say about her. And I also want to recommend Beth. She's my proofreader. She proofread The Marionettes and Wicked Souls, and she is incredibly fast. So if you're in like a time pinch, she gets my books done in like less than a week, and they're not short books. She does a great job. Again, very nice, very friendly, very affordable. And I feel like she doesn't book out as far in advance as some editors. Like, you still want to book her at least a couple of months in advance. But if you're running out of time and you're trying to squeeze in under the wire, she will probably be able to fit you in. And like I said, her turnaround time is really quick. And then another one, her name is Charity. So I'll have her link down below. I actually haven't worked with her yet, but if you are really on a budget and you're trying to keep costs down, she is crazy affordable. So I'm thinking about potentially working with her in the future, but I would ask for a sample edit just to make sure everything looks good, because again, I haven't worked with her, so I can't really like speak to her abilities. I know some other people who have worked with her, and her rates are super affordable, so that's why I wanted to put her on your radar. Now for my cover designers. So More Books Design did the Anti-Virginity Pact and the Anti-Relationship Year covers. I had a good experience with them. They also made me some like marketing and promotional materials. They were very kind to me when I kept asking for new concepts and new revisions and stuff until we finally got the books perfect. So no complaints from me. I do think they recently raised their prices from when I worked with them, but I think they're still pretty affordable. I think it's under $400 to get the ebook and the paperback, 300 something. I'll put the prices here again. I worked with 7-Star Art for the Marionettes series. So Steph is great. I absolutely love her portfolio. If you have like a darker book or like fantasy or something and you want one of those symbolism covers that are more popular in traditional publishing, definitely check her out. She definitely books far out in advance though, so get on her calendar early. She's a little bit more on the expensive side. I think it's $400 for an ebook and paperback, $500 for ebook, paperback, and hardcover, but I think she just does amazing work, so totally worth it. And then Christina, she has done all of my poetry collections. She is a newer designer. I actually worked with her back when she was still a college student, and she has just recently started her business. And then Quamber Designs, I can't show you the cover of mine that they designed because I haven't revealed it yet, but they have designed a secret standalone cover for me. And honestly, this is probably the best experience that I've had with a cover designer, so it's kind of a shame I can't show you which cover they made for me. Just like super thorough, super nice, super patient, just like really got my vision for this book. Super affordable. It was $250 for the ebook and the paperback and a couple of other images and stuff. Just really, really enjoyed working with her. Nothing but positive things. Again, booked far out in advance, get on her calendar early. And then lastly, if you're looking for an audiobook narrator, I have worked with a couple who I really, really loved. So Steph has done my Marionettes series. I absolutely love her. Just a lovely human being. Could not recommend her enough. A little bit pricier, but I do part of it and then we do part royalty share. Yeah, I absolutely love my audiobooks. I think she did such a good job, and I've also just really enjoyed working with her. She's just super nice. And then Kim narrated the Anti-Relationship Year for me. Also did a fantastic job. Also just a lovely human being. I would work with both of them again in a heartbeat. Can't recommend them enough. Okay, I think that's it. I think we have covered it all. All of the links are down below in the description if anything that I talked about today piqued your interest. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down in the comments. If you have any publishing plans for this year coming up, I would love to hear about them. What kind of genres do you guys write in? Are you publishing your first book? Have you been publishing a lot? Are you still deciding between traditional and self-publishing? I would just be interested to know. I'm nosy like that. Don't forget to check out the link for Skillshare if you're interested in their free trial. All my books are linked down there too. And I think that's gonna be it for today's video. Maybe subscribe if you're new. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye. No.